So Michelle Obama on her The Michelle Obama podcast, of course, was explaining how racism is still alive and kicking today. And her points are what you'd expect from one of the most famous women in America. You know, just the regular sheltered pablum nonsense that, to us everyday people, we know as just everyday life, not racism. First, she starts off by saying certain people try to avoid making eye contact with her because of the color of her skin.
When I'm just a black woman, I notice that white people don't even see me. They're not even looking at me.
Of course, to us everyday people, though, it's not uncommon for people to avoid eye contact with you no matter your race. In fact, many people of your own race will avoid eye contact with you often. I lived in a city for several years where everyone has a million-mile stare that goes through the crowded sidewalks. I mean, just based off that alone, that her coming to the conclusion that it's her race, which is why people avoid eye contact with her, she needs to be in therapy, not hosting a podcast to her millions of impressionable listeners. But this next point she makes is even crazier. And again, this is all about how racism is still alive in America. And the next one really shows us her bias and hate for white people. Let me remind you that she once said, "The only time I was proud of America is when my husband was elected president."
So I'm standing there with two little black girls, another black female adult. They're in soccer uniforms, and a white woman cuts right in front of us to order. Like she didn't even see us. So I stepped up and I said, "Excuse me." I said, "You don't see us, four people standing right here. You just jumped in line." She didn't apologize. She never looked me in my eye. She didn't know it was me.
So she says because she's a black woman, a white woman decided to cut in front of her at an ice cream shop. If this is what you perceive as racism, there is something much deeper in your subconscious that is masked as racism and you need help. Possibly it is racism you harbor towards others. I've been cut in line at stores by people of all races. I have never once jumped to the conclusion, wow, what a racist. What I did think, however, is, wow, what a dick, before taking my spot in line back.